Oh, yes, indeed. It's Wrestling Uncensored. Tonight on the show, we're previewing AEW's Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I like that they're on TV, though.
Am I right?
Yes, boy.
Yes, boy. Where are we? How do
here.
I see you? There we go.
Hey, there I am.
Hey, it's the Simon Brothers Super Show.
No.
We're here on a Friday night, as we always are. Johnny North is not with us. He is on a wrestling excursion across Ontario.
Making his name out there, applying his craft.
Let me get you set.
A little adjustment there.
Yep. Yeah, he's doing it big. He's wrestling, and he's doing what he does best. Other than this, he's in the ring, kicking ass. So Johnny not with us tonight, but Johnny will be with me on Monday at, what did Johnny say? 1 o'clock, I think we settled on. 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday, special Canada Day edition of Wrestling Uncensored. We'll recap AEW's Forbidden Door on Monday at 1 p.m. That's a programming note for you.
All right. And tonight we'll be breaking down that door.
Yeah, we're gonna break the door down. Break down the door. For those about to
Set the clock.
How are we all doing tonight? Where's everybody in the chat? I don't see anybody. Is the chat active? Am I missing something? I'm not seeing the chat. There's Doug Hepburn. I see Doug Hepburn. He says, Nick and I will be in Napanee tomorrow. What should we do? I think you should go see Johnny North. Whoa! Are you going to go see Johnny North? Is that the deal?
Yeah. He's in Napanee.
Yeah, I think John's going to be in Napanee, Ontario tomorrow.
Birthplace of Avril Lavigne.
Is that true?
Yeah, she's from Napanee. I remember from watching Much Music back in the day.
Wow.
Learning that tidbit.
Avril Lavigne.
Maybe she'll be in there.
She's quite something.
She was.
She still is. Ryan Cat says he's watching the NHL draft and Alouettes beating the Argos. That's nice.
All right.
Alouettes winning a football game. Good for them. We were watching the Yankees beat up on the Blue Jays while we were watching SmackDown tonight.
Finally.
Yeah, finally Yankees winning a game. And it's 16-5 right now in the ninth inning for the Yankees.
Insult to injury.
Yeah, Yankees just piling on the runs in the ninth inning, scoring even more. It was, 9-5 going into the ninth? They scored 7 in the ninth inning? It's crazy.
I believe, I think I read that recording artist Shaggy threw out the first pitch at Rogers Center tonight. Maybe that'll be the sign of the Yankees' good fortunes, since,
I think you're mistaken. It wasn't him.
Aha! Because, the Mets, they are feeling like their season's turning around after the McDonald's character Grimace threw out a first pitch. Maybe the Yankees will have some good luck thanks to Shaggy. Mr. Bombastic.
Picture this, we were both naked. How could I forget that I had given her an extra key?
What a song.
Oh,
was Shaggy the guy, or was it like the two people singing? It was like
no, Shaggy was the guy going. Yeah. Wasn't me.
But the other guy was like a feature.
I don't know who the other guy was.
Yeah, who was the other guy?
Wasn't me. Wasn't me. Anyways, that was a good one.
That was a good song.
Who doesn't love a good Shaggy?
So maybe this will be the sign of Yankees. Good
Yankees
fortunes.
return. This will be our Grimace moment.
Yeah.
How about that, eh? With the Mets have Grimace throw out the first pitch, and then they won 7, 8, 9 in a row.
Like a game and a half within the wild card.
So Grimace has saved the Mets somehow. Like, they were garbage. Grimace throws out the first pitch. Everything turns around for the team, and now Grimace has become their mascot.
Yeah, they beat up on the Yankees.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah.
How can we get Grimace? Can we get like Ronald McDonald,
Hamburglar
or something, man?
A little that McDonald's magic.
Could we get the Burger King to throw out a first pitch? You know what I mean? You get that guy from the commercials, that Burger King guy. It's like, yeah, okay, well, the Mets, they got Grimace, but we're going the other way. We're going with Burger King.
Yeah, with the mask.
He throws out the first pitch, and all of a sudden the Yankees start kicking ass? Could that happen? Could we do that, maybe? We need to do something.
Some fast food mascot?
Maybe Shaggy was the key. Maybe it was the Shaggy magic, and now, Yankees anthem for the rest of the season wasn't me.
They're going to go 18-2 over the next 20.
Yeah. Ryan Katz wants to know, does Shaggy really talk like that? I would say yes. It's not like a Snow situation. It's not a fake accent.
Oh, Snow. Canadian.
Informer.
Crispy boom boom down.
Crispy boom boom down. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was strange that was allowed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
like
popular.
A Canadian guy speaking in Jamaican accent, doing a
patois.
That happened a lot back in the days before reggae music was more mainstream.
Yeah.
Like
UB40, also white guys doing reggae.
The Police.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Sting kind of.
He putting on this accent, and everybody's like, yeah, this is music, and you're like, well,
just a castaway.
Yeah, it's like where's that accent coming? That's not British, man. That's something you're putting on because you've heard it and you're stealing it, basically. That happened a lot.
Yeah.
I was watching that Steven Van Zandt documentary, and he's like, and me da da da. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? That's not how you talk. You're from New Jersey.
And a lot of artists would have a Jamaica or reggae song.
Yeah.
Elton John on one of his albums is or Paul McCartney or Ringo,
Really?
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, Sea Moon.
Is that does he put on an accent?
Yeah,
he puts a little bit.
Hey, come on, take me back
now.
Man. I want to go. I've heard a live track of Sea Moon where he goes take me home to Jamaica.
How have we not gone back at this point and gone, okay, all these songs, all these bands, we need
British
to have a serious conversation about these British guys doing Jamaican accents. What is going on here? Sting. The Police basically made a career off doing fake reggae.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like it. Walking on the Moon. I like that song. But, come on. Man.
Every Breath You Take.
Yeah,
great song about a stalker.
I don't like it as much as Walking on the Moon. Or Englishman in New York.
That's Sting solo.
I like Sting solo.
Yeah.
Englishman in New York.
That's more like global music, Sting solo,
Yeah.
Desert Rosalie.
The Stinger, brother. Oh, what a talent. You ever see that picture of
Sting and Sting?
Sting and Sting
I'm glad
together?
it happened.
Yeah, it's nice.
Especially blonde Sting.
It's nice that Sting, the musician, is aware of Sting, the wrestler.
Yeah.
It's nice that he's yes, I know that there is Steve Borden, who is the same name. A tag team would have been tremendous.
Yeah. I'm sure Bischoff probably pitched it.
One match, brother. Sting and Sting connection.
Unfortunately, they replaced him with RoboCop.
That was a good team, too, though.
That was pretty good.
Can't argue with Sting and RoboCop as a tag team.
Taking on Sid Justice.
But imagine Sting and RoboCop with Sting coming to the ring singing, doing his fake Jamaican accent. Look at this, it's Sting and RoboCop, man. It's whoa, dude.
Doing some complicated bass solo.
Yeah. He's got that drum there, that steel drum going. They love it.
Oh.
Unreal.
I want to talk more about Sting.
What? Tony Khan dead. Is that true? I don't think that's true.
What?
What is this?
Dead serious about
I don't know.
That's
what Jimmy James is saying. Let me double check that. I got to search on Twitter. I'm like, Tony Khan, is he dead? No, he's alive. He is producing a big pro wrestling show coming up this Sunday. It is AEW's Forbidden Door. Bryan Danielson looking to win his first pay-per-view match of 2024. He actually hasn't won a pay-per-view match for AEW all year. He's wrestled several matches, including losses to Will Ospreay, The Elite at the last one, Eddie Kingston even.
Yeah.
Bryan has not won. He's wrestling Shingo Takagi in the opening round of the Owen Hart Cup tournament, and I'm very interested in that match just to see, can Bryan win a match this year? Will they give him a match? And then if he wins, he wrestles Pac in the next round,
Oh.
which would be sick nasty. I kind of think he's going to win, too, because I don't see Shingo sticking around past Forbidden Door, because he's a New Japan talent.
You don't think they're making like a storyline out of Bryan
losing all his matches?
Yeah.
Well, they haven't mentioned it,
That's true.
you know? So hopefully not. It'd be just sad. But he did kind of mention it. He's like, I wrestled him. I lost. I wrestled him. I lost. I don't know if I can still do it anymore. So I'm going to go in the Owen Hart Cup tournament and see what I can do. And it's like, well, I kind of feel like he's going to maybe make it to the end. Maybe win the Owen Hart Cup tournament and get a title shot at Wembley. Like, maybe it's all leading to that.
Yeah.
Bryan swerve at Wembley.
That's a good Bryan Danielson story.
I would like to see it.
Kind of old school.
I think he is the best wrestler going today. I think he's the best signing that AEW's ever had. He's had the best matches in AEW. Like, I think the two best matches in AEW history are Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay, and Bryan Danielson MJF. Those are my two favorite matches that AEW's ever done.
Yeah, those were good matches. Bryan and Kenny was pretty good too. Their
all the
Iron
best
Man
matches,
match
all the
on
best
TV?
matches in
That was
AEW
free,
were
that
Bryan.
match.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
Bryan. Kenny's had some pretty fantastic matches with pretty much everybody too.
Him against Christian. Was that on TNA or like an Impact pay-per-view? Or
Well, they did it once on TV, and then they did it again in TNA when Kenny was like the TNA champion.
and he went over, crossed over.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they had some crazy matches.
they were very good. Yes, Christian's also been an excellent signing for AEW. So we're gonna preview AEW's Forbidden Door here tonight. We're not just gonna talk about Sting, the singer, although we could, brother.
Yeah. Gordon.
I like him. His real name's Gordon.
Sumner.
All the tantric sex stuff that he's into. I mean, there's a lot to talk about with that guy.
Yeah. You know how I think he's like a famous asshole too.
Is he?
I'm pretty sure there's like a lot of like
Wow.
Sting is an asshole stories.
Plays the lute.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. A lot of like those medieval instruments.
Yeah. Strange guy. I like him.
Thought we should have seen him at Metropolis that one time.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about seeing Sting, and you kind of made fun of me and
I
shamed me
didn't know
into not buying
it was
a
my
ticket.
discovery that you were a fan.
I like him.
At first, I thought you were feigning excitement, but no.
I
it
kind
was
of do
legit.
like Sting, yeah. I mean, I don't love, like, it's not like I'm a huge Sting fan, but there are some songs where I'm like, yeah, I like that song.
I have seen him sing. I've seen Sting sing
Pretty
at
good.
a Leonard Cohen tribute show.
Nice.
He sang the song "Dance Me to the End of Love." He gave it some zest.
That sounds awful. I hate it. I hate you even talking about it. It upsets me just hearing about it. I don't know why. It just pisses me off.
Yeah.
God bless.
God bless.
I love you.
Oh.
Oh, man. The chat is alive. Jimmy James, Ryan Katz. I see Jason Pete out in Mexico.
Hola.
All the members over at join.ringsidereport.net, thank you for supporting the channel here, the Ringside Report Network. We are very busy this weekend. We were on last night doing the UFC 303 preview. We're here tonight. I'm back tomorrow night with Freddie and AJ for the UFC 303 watch along, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Monday, Johnny and I are back for the AEW Forbidden Door recap show. So it's a busy weekend. We're having a lot of fun, and we are here recapping everything, watching everything, and talking to you because of the membership, because of the support. Jason Pete says, watch along tomorrow. Yeah, Jason, we're doing a watch along for Yuri Prohaska and Alex Pereira tomorrow. UFC 303. It was supposed to be the return of Conor McGregor. It's not, and I'm kind of bummed. Like, it's not... Like, the buzz was going to be so high. It was going to be so fire.
Electric.
And the UFC, like, 4th of July weekend is their big show of the
UFC
year.
100 was the 4th of July.
Yeah, man. Like, this is supposed to be the boom event. And I was talking to a guy today who's, like, a casual MMA fan. And I was like, you're going to watch the pay-per-view this weekend? He's like, nah, probably not, you know? And he's not watching because...
No Conor.
It's not, you know, I was like, he's like, oh, I'm busy and everything. And I'm like, yeah, but if Conor was fighting, you would make an effort. He's like, yeah, I'd make an effort to try and watch it. But this, it's like, whatever, because they just fought 7 months ago.
Yeah.
Pereira and Prohaska. And it's a cool fight, and I like them both, but, like, I don't see it going a different way considering how it went the first time. He beat him in a round and a half. I don't know. Yeah, Connor broke his toe. So, but we're still doing the watch along tomorrow, and I think it's going to be fun because it's like the main event doesn't excite me that much, but the undercard is really good. You have this guy, Ian Machado Gary, who's undefeated, a real prospect, coming up against MVP, Montel Vontavious Porter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, from WWE. He's in the UFC now. He's really good. Yeah. It's not him. His name is...
He's a bit too old to kind of start an MMA career.
This guy's old, too. He's like 37. Not as old as MVP, who's like 50.
Yeah.
But this guy, his name's MVP, and what's his real name? I forget his real name. You see, names are not coming to me anymore.
Remember OSP?
Oh, Vince St. Preux.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him. What the hell is MVP's name? This is pissing me off now. It's MVP. Anyways, he's very good. He was a Bellator guy. He made his UFC debut recently against Kevin Holland, and he whooped his ass, and it was very impressive. MVP, Michael Venom Page. Thank you.
Venom Page.
Michael Page is his name, but Venom is the nickname. So, yeah, it's kind of weird how he's got like a nickname based off a nickname because people just call him MVP.
Yeah.
But Venom isn't his, like...
Yeah. It's not like his name is Michael Vincent Page.
Yeah, no, his name is Michael Venom Page. Venom is a nickname, but no one calls him Venom or Venom Page. They call him MVP. People call him MVP so much, I forgot what his actual name was, and the V isn't really, you know what I mean?
It's made up.
It's gimmick on gimmick, which is kind of nice. Like, gimmick on gimmick, you know?
Not often happens in the MMA world.
It's kind of sweet. I do like the double gimmick for MVP. So that's a really big fight. That's opening the pay-per-view. Then you've got Brian Ortega and Diego Lopes in the co-main event, which is really good. Ortega looked really good in his last fight, too. I'm excited to see what he does next. He missed weight, though, today. This fight was kind of short notice, so he couldn't make 145. They made it a 155 fight instead, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the fight, but it's good, man. Charles Jourdain and Marc-Andre Barriault, both Quebec guys, they're fighting on the prelim show as well, so, like...
That's cool.
It's
exciting.
It's a decent pay-per-view tomorrow. We're going to be watching it. I'm going to be watching the prelims. Jillian Robertson is a Canadian fighter, too. I picked her to beat Michelle Watterson on the prelim card.
Oh, karate hottie.
Yeah. And that's happening tomorrow. So, we're doing a watch-along 10 p.m. tomorrow for the pay-per-view. When the pay-per-view starts, we'll be on here watching all the things with you. So, stay up for that with us, Jason. It's going to be fun. AJ's going to be here. Jason says, honestly, it's a good card. Yeah, it is a good card. Like, it's good. You can't really say, Prohaska and Pereira sucks as a fight. Like, it doesn't. It's a good fight, but I just feel like we know. But a lot of times you feel like you know and you don't know. But the hype isn't there because when you go into a fight, you want the questions. Like, what's going to happen? And when you saw it 7 months ago, you go, I kind of think I know what's going to happen.
Not enough time has passed to be like, well, it's time for a rematch.
Not enough has changed between the guys.
Yeah.
Like, they're basically the same.
It's not much of a story.
No. Not much of a story. Alouettes 30, Argonauts 20 final in the CFL, Ryan Katz tells us. Well, that's great. And the Yankees have won as well. They beat the Blue Jays 16-5, which is double great.
Who was the starter for the Yankees tonight?
Stroman.
Strosho. Solid. He's emerging as the number one.
In Toronto, too, showing him what's up.
Oh, that feels good. They didn't treat him well there.
Stroman has been the most consistent over the past couple weeks. Cole's been bad.
Rodon's been back to his old self.
Rodon's been 2023 Rodon. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened either.
It's like we travel back in time with this guy. He started the season amazing, and then he turned back. Yeah. His past 3 starts, he can't get out of the first inning. It's like 7 runs in the first inning. It's pathetic. I don't know what's happening with him. Hill has lost it.
Yeah.
Past 2-3 starts for him, too, have been just garbage. Schmidt's on the bench, and like Schmidt's hurt. Ever since Schmidt went down, the pitching staff has it was like he was the glue holding everything together somehow.
Some way.
He was solid, though.
Yeah.
He was that extra piece at the end of the puzzle that was making everything fit. And now, who else is on the staff? I just named.
Well, Cole's back.
Yeah, but that's only 4 guys. Who do we have?
Oh.
It's not Poteet right now, is it?
No, it's
I'm not sure who our 5th starter is
Strowman,
at this point. 'Cause
Heel,
it's kind of a mess.
Rodon, Cole, and Poteet.
It might be Poteet.
Yeah, because Schmidt's on the IL.
Depends who's pitching tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's kind of a revolving door on the 5th starter spot since Schmidt went down.
Some bad Schmidt went down.
It's really bad Schmidt, man. I miss him. Clark Schmidt, we love you. Get well soon. I think we're not going to see him until 2025, though.
Oh, is it?
I think so. I think he's shut down.
I thought I read that he did some throwing today. But
is he not shut down for the year? I thought
but
it was.
But it's still 8 weeks away.
Johnny Lasagna we lost for the year.
And Johnny Lasagna's gone.
That sucks too. I wish we had Jonathan Loizaga still pitching for us.
Marinaccio went back down to AAA.
Why?
I think he had some bad outings. I don't know about the bullpen.
Yeah.
Gotta get rid of Ferguson.
And Angelo mentioning the Stanley Cup final. I swear we're going to talk wrestling here in a second, but the Stanley Cup final happened, right? Then the Florida one.
Yeah, I was excited though.
But they beat Edmonton. Edmonton was down 3-0, and then they came back and pushed it to a Game 7. And
they almost scored a bunch of times to tie or take the lead, but just the Florida goalie Bobrovsky was just always there.
I didn't watch it or anything, but
it was a thrilling Game 7.
I was kind of paying attention because I saw Florida was beating Edmonton. Because anytime there's a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup final, you kind of go, it'd be cool if they won because Canada cares so much about hockey. You kind of want it for the rest of the country. Even though I don't care, really, I can't. I'm not watching.
It's also
I kind of loosely know what's going on, and it sucks that Canada never wins. And here Edmonton pushed it to Game 7. I was like, it'd be cool if they won. And then I find out that they lose. I'm like, oh man, it sucks. It's too bad because Canada. I've mentioned a couple times, they haven't won. Canada hasn't won since the Canadians won the Cup in 1993, which is 31 years ago. Yeah. It's so long. It's sad, that Canada doesn't ever get a Stanley Cup because if the people in Edmonton won the Stanley Cup, they would be so pumped. And then people in Florida, they win the Stanley Cup, no one cares. Man.
No.
There'd be 1 million people at a parade for one of those things in Edmonton, but in Florida, it's not the same deal.
The people who are, some people are excited, but some people are like, yo, one of the Miami Dolphins coming back or something.
Yeah, well, they'd be more excited. But that's it. They have other sports they're more excited about.
Or the Miami Heat. If the Heat won, the championship, they would be nuts.
But in Canada, it's the biggest thing. Calgary, Edmonton, Montreal,
Vancouver,
Toronto, even. If the Leafs won the Cup, it'd be bigger than the Jays winning the World Series.
Yeah.
It'd be bigger.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
It would be the biggest thing. Vancouver, Ottawa,
Winnipeg.
Any of those cities, if they won the Stanley Cup, it would be the biggest thing that they could possibly have. Whereas when these American cities win, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of when we win the Grey Cup here. It's kind of yeah, all right, nice.
Yeah, maybe some cities, in some places, they're in Colorado, they're kind of happy.
When the Alouettes win the Grey Cup, people are kind of cool.
Yeah, when the Alouettes won the Grey Cup last year, I was downtown and the parade was happening on Des Maisonneuve. I was on St. Catherine. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's it.
I couldn't tell.
The city doesn't shut down for that.
No,
it's not. People don't feel it the same.
But if the Canadians won the Cup, geez, brother,
you would know. Yeah. Everybody would know. Yeah. It would be obvious. It would be so loud everywhere you go. People would just be going bananas. Yeah. The city would burn, too. There'd be riots like crazy. Because that's what happened last time. It would happen again.
This was not the year.
Yeah, it's too bad. It'd be good if the Canadians were the ones to do it again.
They came close.
Yeah, didn't they go to the finals a couple years ago?
Yeah, they got their asses kicked.
That's too bad. It's too bad, man. Would have been nice. Would have been good, man, because a lot of people around here, let me tell you, they love it.
Yeah.
People here love that. They love it like we love the Yankees,
Yeah. Makes you miss the Expos.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if the Expos would have won the World Series.
Yeah, I'd be going, insane.
Oh, it would have been the best.
I'd burn the city down. Joking, parody.
Yeah, I wouldn't burn anything down, but I'd be very excited. I would, it would have been the best. Oh, well, that'll never happen. No. So, guys, pro wrestling, I want to talk about what Paul Heyman went through tonight.
Jeez, brother.
Unbelievable.
What a bump.
So, Solo Sikoa comes out with Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, And Jacob Fatu, who gets his own entrance, who's like with the group, but he doesn't seem like one of the stooges like Tama and Tonga.
Yeah.
Tama and Tonga, they seem like just straight up backup. Jacob Fatu seems like his own entity. He's like standing in the back. You know, he's wearing different clothes. Like Tama and Tonga are basically dressed the same, looking the same.
It reminds me of how Solo was presented, you know, because Roman and the Usos were there, and Solo would be kind of in the back in kind of different clothes.
That's true. He is like the Solo of this group. Yeah. Solo is the Roman. Tonga, and Tongaloa are the Usos. And then Jacob Fatu is like the new Solo. Except they don't have a Heyman anymore because they just murdered him on TV. So Solo wants everybody to acknowledge him as a tribal chief. Jacob does it. Tonga does it. Tongaloa does it. And then he pulls out the lei with the red things that Roman Reigns wears, and he gives it to Heyman, and Heyman's like, how did you get this? What the hell's going on here? And he's like, acknowledge me as a tribal chief. And Heyman, like, he's distraught, and he thinks about it, and he's like, oh, my God, Roman Reigns, how would he feel about this? You know, he's just clearly torn and feeling bad. And then he goes, I acknowledge you as not my tribal chief. And
that's what he said.
Isn't that what he said?
I thought he got bleeped. I thought he said something vulgar.
No, I think he said not my tribal chief.
Oh, okay. I thought he acknowledged. I thought I acknowledged you as an SOB or something.
No, I think he said not my tribal chief.
Oh, okay.
And then the crowd popped, and then Solo immediately gave him the deal with the thumb, the Samoan spike. So Heyman's like down, bumped, you know, and then they roll Heyman out of the ring. No, then Jacob does a splash, right? Does a splash from the top on Heyman. They're beating the hell out of Heyman.
Yeah, they give him the business.
And then they roll him out of the ring, and they lift him up to do the power bomb, triple power bomb, all the guys power bombing him. And when Heyman's lifted up, you're like, uh-oh. And Heyman, you can see his face. He's like,
oh, easy,
he's hanging on. He's like, oh, jeez. And they're about to put him through the announce table, and he knows it, and it is. And then boom, the impact, and Heyman's body is just not designed for it. The bump was rough. Heyman skidded off the table, folded in himself. He's not a young man either. He's not an athletic dude. He's not a wrestler. It looked rough.
I can't remember the last time I saw him take that kind of a bump. Did you catch it?
I thought I did.
Oh, it's a mosquito.
Super chat.
It was quite a bump to finish SmackDown.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of made me like take Solo in that group more seriously. I actually didn't think they were gonna go in this direction. I thought like they were just gonna have Heyman acknowledge him, and then like some other wrestler was gonna interfere, and that would be the brawl to finish. I didn't think they were actually gonna beat up Paul Heyman. So
yeah,
I was impressed.
Yeah, it was shocking.
Yeah.
That they beat up Heyman so badly, because Heyman never takes a beating.
Yeah, if he takes a beating, he either like takes a finisher, or he like gets like, you know, bumped from the apron or something. But that, like,
and even then, when it happens, it's shocking and rare. But this was beyond that. When he took the spike, I thought that was it.
Yeah, and the splash.
And then the splash, I'm like, okay, splash, whatever. But the powerbomb through the table? That was nuts. It's Madison Square Garden, though.
Yeah.
They were at Madison Square Garden. They're in New York. This is Heyman's house.
He was like, you know, like a kid working there for like Vince Sr., didn't he? Like,
yeah.
Do like odd jobs.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do it, you do it in the Garden.
Yeah.
And, you know, the situation called for it. He's a company guy, obviously, and my goodness. That's the kind of thing he doesn't have to do, but he's, you know, he's going to do it for the business.
Still got that extreme bit in him.
And it's very admirable that he did that tonight.
Yeah, I hope he got a round of applause backstage.
Yeah, because that was not easy. That was not an easy bump to take. And it looked rough. I hope he's okay, honestly.
Yeah, like the Shield power bombs were a lot gentler.
Yeah, this one looked
They just kind of like threw him down. Like the Shield ones are kind of like they have their hand on their back the whole time. And they kind of go like, okay, down you go.
Just the way he took it.
Yeah, this one they kind of like jackknife almost. They kind of like tossed him.
The table broke too.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah. Well, they had to really smash him in to break the table, and yeah, it was quite something. And now, I guess Heyman disappears for a while and comes back with Roman.
Probably.
When Roman comes back for revenge?
With Jimmy Uso. And...
You would guess. Jimmy Uso. Maybe Jay rejoins them at some point. I don't know. I don't know what it's all going to look like. Maybe Roman comes in like by himself and tries to take them all on and takes a beating for a while until, people start helping Roman because they feel bad. I don't know. Maybe other baby faces, maybe it's not the Usos. Maybe it's some other dudes like Cody Rhodes just being a nice guy.
Sami Zayn,
yeah.
like old times,
Yeah, guys from Roman's past that are like, you were a dick, but, you seem sad now, so I'm going to help you. Or maybe it's just The Rock. Like maybe Roman comes back and he takes a beating for a while, and then The Rock comes out and he's like, listen, jabronis, I'm here to help Roman, and he just whoops all their asses. I mean, that's believable, right?
Yeah.
The final boss.
Or maybe you think The Rock's going to help Roman, but then he puts him in a rock bottom, and like he's the leader of like all these guys.
This new bloodline, it was his idea the whole
final
time.
Boss.
He's taken orders by order of the tribal chief.
Yeah.
Is The Rock. It's like when Solo's talking about he's been told by the tribal chief to do this, maybe he's not talking about Roman, maybe he's talking about The Rock the whole time.
Setting up Rock Roman Manias.
It is very good, isn't it?
Yeah.
This whole bloodline thing.
It's getting better. This was a good direction.
This was a great stop along the way. This was really nice. The addition of Jacob Fatu has added a real nice dimension to it.
Yeah.
Because he's a real player. He's a real talent who could really do a lot in WWE. He's a great wrestler in the ring. He's got a great personality. He's got a great look.
He's young.
There's a lot there. So adding him to the mix is huge. Taking Heyman out is a big move for the story. And, of course, next week they have the match now. It'll be, I think, Solo, Tama, and Tangaloa or Jacob Fatu. Like, it's not clear who's going to wrestle for Team Bloodline. Maybe Solo doesn't even wrestle. Maybe it's Tama, Tonga, and Fatu.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I think Solo probably wrestles, but I feel like Jacob Fatu probably would as well. Or just, helps Solo.
He does the interference that causes them to win.
Which would make sense, too. But they're going to wrestle Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens next week in a 6-man tag at Money in the Bank.
That's a big deal.
That's a big match. And SmackDown started tonight with those guys, the Bloodline dudes, coming out and then immediately getting attacked by Cody, Randy, and Kevin Owens. And they did a big brawl. And Kevin Owens did a swanton dive off a gimmick thing onto Tama Tonga through a table. It was quite something.
MSG.
And then security came out to separate them and everything. And we go to commercial break. And then when we come back, Nick Aldis is there, and one security guard decides to jump in the ring with Randy, Cody, and Kevin to get them out. And of course he takes an RKO. And then all the security guards jump in. It's 15 guys. And then they all get beat up by Randy, Kevin, and Cody. And it's just really dumb. And then they get on the microphone. Then they're just it took forever. It was such a long chunk of the show, the beginning of SmackDown. And it was all right, why do you have to beat up all these security guards now? Why do we go to commercial break to come back for you to beat up security? And then they cut a promo about taking out the Bloodline and Money in the Bank, and Cody's there, and he's cutting a promo, and Randy and Kevin. And then cops came out. They had police people come out.
The NYPD.
And I guess that was the way to have nobody save Heyman at the end of the show, because cops came out, and then they escorted Cody, Kevin, and Randy out of the building because they were just too much of a disturbance. So they were kicked out of the arena. That's why they weren't there the rest of the show. So that was the big kind of angle on SmackDown. We also had some matches. We had Tiffy Time qualifying for Money in the Bank with a win over Candice LeRae and Jade Cargill in a triple threat match. It actually wasn't bad. Nia Jax was in Tiffany's corner. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill's and Indy Hartwell. They are causing interference for Candice. Didn't work, though. Indy Hartwell wrestled later on in the night in a qualifying match against Naomi and Blair Davenport. Naomi won. She qualified for Money in the Bank. I thought the Tiffy Time match was actually pretty good. It was not bad. I thought it would be a total mess with Jade in there and everything, but it turned out quite nicely. We also had LA Knight beating Logan Paul and Santos Escobar to qualify for Money in the Bank. Logan Paul rolled up by LA Knight. LA Knight rolling up Logan Paul for the win.
Did he have the tights? The camera didn't quite show, but
I
it
don't
looked
think
like his
so.
hand was like kind of on there.
I thought it was clean. I didn't see that. It was too distracted by all the basketball action.
Oh, yeah.
So much basketball action. Logan Paul came out with a guy from the Indiana Pacers. I don't know what his name is.
Tyrese
Halliburton. And he was there to mock the New York Knicks fans because they had defeated them in the NBA playoffs.
That's
the
correct.
Pacers, right?
This year, yeah,
And then there was a New York Knicks player who was in the front row, and he was upset about all this. And at one point, Logan Paul tried to get brass knuckles, and the NBA player, the Pacers guy, got the knuckles for Logan Paul, and then the Knicks player stopped him. And I was like, I'm pretty sure he's allowed to use the knuckles because it's triple threat, anything goes.
Yeah.
But whatever. He stopped him. He didn't want Logan Paul to cheat. And then after the match, the Pacers man and Logan Paul kind of surrounded LA Knight. And then the New York Knicks man jumped over the barricade and grabbed a chair and kind of stood there, and they stared at each other. So there was some basketball heat going on.
Not the Miami Heat.
Not Miami Heat. Different kind of heat. So that was, what was going on SmackDown tonight. I thought it was just a big move because we saw that Sika video package. Of course, Sika Anoa'i, the father of Roman Reigns, legendary member of the WWE Hall of Fame, one half of the Wild Samoan tag team, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, one of the biggest legends in the history of the business. Sika of the Wild Samoans passing away this week. They ran a video package, and the balls of Solo Sikoa to run that whole Bloodline ceremony. That was planned before Sika died, but the fact that they did it and Solo did it the way he did on the week that Sika died, Roman's father dies, and he's like, I'm the tribal chief. I was like, with the lei and everything, especially because Sika and Afa had put it on Roman at one point after a match. They had kind of dubbed him the man, and here's Solo, on the week Sika dies, it's me. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm sure Solo's sad, too, because he's his family as well, and it's all family and it's all love. But it's just in the story, seeing the Sika promo, and it's Roman's father, and he did this and that. And then you see them together with Roman, and then here's Solo at the end of the show, it's me now.
Makes it super personal.
Yeah, it's super, bad guy.
Yeah.
It's really good. Things just happen. Things just fall into place. And then, for Sika to die this week and for them to run this big angle with Heyman and everything on the show, it's wow. At Madison Square Garden, too, home of the WWE,
and
where the Wild
Sika
Samoans...
so
that's it.
For so many years. That's where he made his name.
Heyman probably took pictures of Sika there, in the garden.
Maybe he took that picture of Hogan and Sika and Little Roman.
Yeah.
Maybe he did.
I don't think so. No. I don't think he was there at that time, but... He might as well have been. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of history. It was kind of nuts for it to all come together like that for wrestling history. And I love wrestling history, brother.
I wish they taught that at university.
I could do it. Let me do it. Yeah. Over on Raw this week, did you watch Raw?
I did not.
Yeah, I didn't think you did. I'm not surprised by that. What did we see on Raw? I watched the majority of Raw. We saw a bunch of things. I watched Raw. I watch a little Raw every now and then. You gotta watch a little Rawski We had Drew McIntyre promo talking about beating up CM Punk and how he's going to win Money in the Bank. A lot of Money in the Bank talk. We're gearing up for Money in the Bank. We are setting things up for Money in the Bank. We also have Ludwig Kaiser feuding with Sheamus and Braun Breaker and all that. Ludwig Kaiser beat Braun Breaker by disqualification when Sheamus attacked him. Braun Breaker challenged Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship at Money in the Bank, and Sami accepted.
Oh.
So Sami will be defending the Intercontinental Championship in Toronto, which will be a very pro-Sami crowd, against Braun Breaker, who's like this unstoppable force. So that's a very cool match that they've booked for Money in the Bank. I like that Intercontinental title match. I think Sami's just going to beat him.
I think Braun's going to win, actually.
How long has Sami held the Intercontinental title for?
Mania.
Mania, okay. Yeah, we're getting deeper into summer now, maybe.
You know,
In Toronto, though, to lose in Toronto.
It's big heat for Braun.
Yikes. Do they want to get big heat for Braun, though? I'm not sure they want to push him as a full-on heel.
I feel like that's a good spot for him.
People like him, though.
Yeah.
He's very likable. I like him. He's cool.
Then he'll make you hate him, and then that's part of his strong character, and then eventual babyface run.
I don't think he wins. I don't think he beats Sami in Toronto. But it's a cool match, right? Because we're already disagreeing. So there's already because it's one of those matches where you go, yeah, he might win.
Yeah, it feels like
it could happen.
Possibility.
Yeah. I mean, they just crowned new tag team champions on Raw. They might be doing switching up of the titles here.
It's time to shake things up, pal.
Right? They just did Liv Morgan helping Finn and JD McDonuts. She helped them get a title match. She bargained with Adam Pearce to get them a tag team title match because R-Truth she tricked R-Truth into helping her because R-Truth really loves the Judgment Day.
Right.
So she's like, "Oh, don't you think they should get a tag team title match?" And he's like,
favor.
"Yeah, I love those guys." He's like, "I never liked JD, but Finn's my guy." So. And then Liv kind of distracted them, and they won. So Finn and JD are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. So the Miz Truth Tag Team that held the belt since WrestleMania, that's over with. We might start seeing people that have held belts since WrestleMania start to drop them. Maybe Sami next week in Toronto.
Could be.
There is Money in the Bank, too, right? There's those briefcases.
Yeah.
So there could be some cash-ins. And that's a real interesting one. Like I said, we had some qualifiers this week on Raw and SmackDown. Let me give you who's in Money in the Bank, and you tell me who you think is going to win Money in the Bank, okay? Jey Uso, Carmelo, will you shut the door? Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, who qualified this week, brother. Chad Gable's story is really good. Because Chad Gable, he finally just pissed off Otis and Tozawa and Maxine enough that they had it with him. So they leave him, they abandon him, and then he gets murdered by the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
Or the Wyatt Six.
Big gash on his
right? Murdered by them. Then it's he's okay, but... And everybody on Raw is like, what happened to Chad Gable? What happened? He's like, I don't want to talk about it, but I'm okay, so don't worry about it. And he's like, and then Maxine's like, I'm really happy you're okay. He's trying to make up with Otis, and Otis is like, no, we're done. I'm happy you're fine, but we're done. I'm not with you anymore, Gable. Gable's he's like, I'm sorry, but it's not working. And he's like, I'm going to show those guys. I'm going to win Money in the Bank, and I'm going to show everybody. So I feel like maybe the story at the end for Gable is winning Money in the Bank and maybe cashing in on Priest or something and becoming champion, or cashing in on Seth Rollins. Because Seth Rollins is getting the shot at Damian Priest at Money in the Bank. And when Seth Rollins is in a title match, a cash-in that match, it works in a lot of ways because it's hard to book a winner between Priest and Seth right now. It's a clean winner. Seth has been gone from injury with an injury for a while. He's back. This is his first match back. He's in a world title match.
Mania.
Money in the Bank. He's been gone since Mania with an injury.
Where he wrestled twice.
Wrestled twice. Company guy. You know, he was hurt going into Mania.
Yeah,
he stuck it out for them. You know what I mean?
I'm surprised he's back this soon.
Trying to keep him happy. Trying to maybe get his wife to come back at some point.
Yeah, there's probably a bit of that there.
Uh-huh. So, I don't think Seth straight up loses at Money in the Bank. But that means Priest would have to lose. But he hasn't. But he's held the belt now for what? Since Mania. Is there a cash in there?
I thought he was going to lose the Clash.
But he didn't.
He didn't.
A lot of people thought he was going to lose at the Clash, but he did not to Drew McIntyre. Does he lose the title here, Money in the Bank? And if it is, like, if he does lose, like, is it to Chad Gable? Like, is that possible? And Drew McIntyre, I think he was in the qualifier, right? Was he in a qualifier yet, or is there one more qualifier to go? Because Chad Gable beat Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed to qualify. I don't think Drew McIntyre has been in. I think he's going to be in another qualifying match.
There's one more spot to go.
Yeah, there's one more spot. So I think Drew and some other dudes are going to be in a qualifying match on Monday. I don't know who he's wrestling, but I kind of think Drew McIntyre in that Money in the Bank would be the favorite to win and cash in.
Yeah. Unless he gets screwed again. Maybe like CM Punk knocks him off the ladder.
Yeah. But then, like, I feel, again, the Seth Priest match kind of needs somebody else to cash in, interfere. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to do that,
it should be Drew. Yeah, Gable all of a sudden, like, because we've been thinking of Gable in the Intercontinental Championship kind of context. All of a sudden, if he's going to be like the champion.
Unless they push the whole world title storyline into the Wyatt Six thing and Gable, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got that connection.
There
now.
could be a total shift. I'm trying to get this fly in. This little, get him. Get that son of a 10 points.
Maybe like he's got, like, do you think like he's got special powers now?
I don't know. Because they're acting like something happened to him, but he's not saying
He's
what.
been possessed.
And then those guys did a promo where it's like Bo Dallas talking to himself about Bray's death, and it was real intense and creepy, and it was pretty good, honestly. It was not bad.
It was like one of those like there's like camera trick kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like, you know, showing one camera and then going to the next.
In case you think they're the same person, well,
Yeah.
how is this possible?
He was like, Uncle Howdy was like, aren't you exploiting your brother's death? And he's like, all I wanted to do was be like my brother. It was really like intense, and it was very intense. Yeah, it was a lot. But it was good, and I think that they had to address that right off the bat. I think they had to say, like,
why are they doing this?
We're not doing this to kind of exploit his memory. We're doing this, you know, to carry on the legacy, because we were going to do something together.
Yeah.
And when he died, it all kind of fell apart, and I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do, but this is all I know. And I get that. I understand what the message is when he's saying that. And then you add the spooky stuff, and it's so far, you know, that promo itself I thought was pretty good. So far, this Wyatt Six stuff has been good. I didn't love the long build with the glitchy videos and the QR code and all that. I thought that was a little much. It's not for me. But the thing on Raw that they did last week where they murdered everybody and Gable, and then the promo this week with Uncle Howdy talking to Bo Dallas, I thought was, you know, for that kind of stuff, I thought it was well done. I thought it was, you know, not the type of thing where I go, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Like, it held my attention. Like, I was watching it, I was like, oh, that's pretty good. It was like 3-4 minutes. I was like, yeah, this is good.
It was
cool.
It wasn't like, unfortunately, it wasn't. Or in a way, like, it wasn't like a Bray Wyatt promo.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of them just kind of felt like they went nowhere to me, and this one felt like it had a point and a message, and they got to it. I feel like Bray Wyatt sometimes it felt like he had a point and a message, but he just never quite got to it. And, you know, who knows? Who knows? Maybe I didn't get it.
Nah, I think the writing wasn't very good.
Yeah, it's possible, too. And of course, you know, there's a lot of talk that he was very annoyed with the lack of freedom, and sometimes things would get changed on him, and, you know, could have been Vince screwing up that character. Who knows, man? But let's just say it was Vince's fault.
Yeah.
Instead of blaming the dead guy for the character not always working, let's blame the sex pervert, because it seems like probably more his fault. It's any bad thing that's ever happened in WWE. I think it's safe to just blame Vince. He's a scapegoat now. Just throw the blame on him, because, you know, he's kind of like a guilt tree, like a Christmas tree. You know, you just hang the balls of guilt on him. You know, like a Whamsgans.
Yeah, he's a Whamsgans.
You understand? When Whamsgans go
cancer
to prison,
of the career.
What do they call him? The
Christmas tree.
The Christmas tree.
They hang all their offenses on him.
Yeah, that's what Vince is now.
I think I could
add another ball to the branch.
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
Spores.
That's exactly what's happening to Vince. You just add all the misdeeds of WWE to him. Angelo telling us Tyrese Halliburton, the Knicks player, was Jalen Brunson. Oh, I've heard of Jalen Brunson before.
I was going to say Jalen Brown, but that's a guy from the Celtics who won the championship.
Good for them.
There's a lot of Jalens in sports now.
Jalen is a cool name. Douglas Hepburn dropping a super chat. He says, Genesis Johnny North. Just dropping the super chat because he's excited to see Johnny tomorrow in the wrestling ring. And Angelo, not to be outdone, he drops a super chat, says, my condolences to the Anoa'i family on the passing of Sika, father of Roman Reigns.
And Rosie.
Don't forget about Rosie. Yes. When will we see the Tribal Chief return? Do you think he comes back by SummerSlam? The real Tribal Chief. I'm not talking about Solo.
I feel like he's gonna come back maybe at the end of like the October pay-per-view.
My God.
Like Solo will be like standing in the ring, and then Roman will come out, and they'll have like a face-off to end the pay-per-view.
At that point, why not push it to the Rumble?
Well, because I'm thinking Survivor Series, War Games, baby.
You bring Roman back for War Games?
Well, because, you know, like, I feel like that's what they're kind of building up, because, like, you know, like, Solo's got his four guys. Roman could have 4 guys. That's War Games.
Who would his 4 guys be, though? Would
for
it
Roman?
Be...
Or for Solo?
Like, for Roman, would it be the
Usos and Sami Zayn?
Oh, my God.
You know, like the old school bloodline, you know?
Old group.
It's NWO Black and White versus NWO Red and Black.
Okay.
Well, they're all red and black.
I don't love it. I don't love it that much.
Yeah. Well, that's my prediction.
I think it should be Roman with Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan and Six Pack.
Yeah.
Or the Giant.
Or Scott Norton.
Scotty Norton. Scott Steiner.
Marcus Buff. We're just like the ones who are still alive.
Ooh, Buff Bagwell.
Those are still alive.
Why isn't a company bringing Buff Bagwell in for like a manager's role or something? You know, that guy's electric. Who killed WCW? Buff Bagwell did, brother. He almost killed his own father too.
Is that real life or storyline?
No, that's real. You didn't.
Was that Dark Side of the Ring?
Yeah, he shot his dad.
Oh.
Because his dad was like attacking his mom, and he like pulled a gun on him, and he's like, his dad's like, "You're not gonna do anything." He's like, "Oh yeah, pam!" He shot him.
I did not know.
And then his dad like apologized to him like a week later. He's like, "You were right to do that, son." He was a male gigolo and so on.
Yeah, over here.
There's so many stories about Buff Bagwell. Like, you got to see his Dark Side of the Ring. It's one of the best ones ever. It's really worth watching.
Is his real name Marcus Bagwell?
I think so, yeah. His story is crazy. He left, like, one of his wives or something for one of his, like, gigolo clients.
All right.
That didn't work out.
No, really.
Yeah.
Wasn't true love.
No. It's like when you see headlines. I saw a headline today. It said, Ben Affleck moves out of the house with
yeah.
Jennifer Lopez. And I go, God damn, you're telling me these two idiots couldn't stay together? That's a shocker. That's a guy. I can't believe it. This celebrity couple that seems to be only together for pictures and publicity. It's not lasting. It's not working. That's unbelievable. Can't believe it. It's like, when do these people ever stay together?
Wait, celebrities?
Yeah, man. Like those people.
There's a couple.
Yeah, but the real big ones where like you
know.
hear about their names all the time, like they basically never stay together.
What about Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn?
All right.
Together for decades. They were big stars in their day.
How about Jay-Z and Beyonce?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I didn't think it'd last this long.
I mean, Solange did whoop his ass in the elevator for some reason, and Beyonce just standing aside.
Yeah. I'm going to write an album about this.
Come on, there's some shit that went on.
Yeah.
Hove! That guy retired from rap, grew his hair out, and pretended he was a different guy. Jay-Z's acted like he's not Jay-Z anymore. He's Sean now. There's no Jay-Z.
Jay-Z is dead.
Jay-Z, yeah, kill Jay-Z. Like, that was a song.
Yeah.
I was on his last solo album, and I don't know if he'll ever do another one. Like, I think he's done.
That's a hell of a one to go out on.
It was amazing. It was so good.
Washes the taste of Magna Carta Holy Grail out.
Oh yeah, no, it was a playbook for life. That album,
Yeah.
like, it's incredible. It'll never be topped. He doesn't need to do another one, but it would be nice to see him tour again.
You should do a ranking and like discussion of all of Jay-Z's albums.
Yeah, I mean, the number one is obviously Reasonable Doubt. Like, it's not even a question.
I don't know.
Nope. I'd say Reasonable Doubt. Blueprint 1 will be number 2. Life and Times. Sean Carter Volume 1. Volume 2. I don't know.
Volume 3 is Big Pimpin', doesn't it?
Yeah, but I like the one with Money, Cash, Hose.
Oh.
Money, cash, hose, money, cash, hose. What? Come on. That's good. I like the one Where I'm From. Cough up a lung where I'm from. Marcy, son. Ain't nothing nice. That shit's fucking hard. Been to many places, but I'm Brooklyn's own. Fucking beautiful. God damn, Jay-Z's the best. I love Jay-Z so much, man. Would it be Volume 1 or Volume 2 that I would prefer? I don't know. But, yeah, 444, I don't know where that would rank in the top Jay-Z albums. Because I like, earlier Jay-Z. Because that's when he was really doing the Jay-Z stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the 444 is cool, but it's like old man Jay-Z that I like, and I love the album, but I don't know if it would be top 5 for me in Jay-Z
top
albums.
10 maybe?
Yeah, for sure, top 10.
Well, because he's got like, what, 15?
He's got several. Oh, man, are we going to do this now? Anybody give a shit about Jay-Z's discography more than me? Anybody care? He's got a lot of albums.
American Gangster album.
Reasonable Doubt, In My Lifetime, Volume 1. Volume 2, Hard Knock Life. Volume 3, Life and Times of Sean Carter. Dynasty, Rock La Familia, baby. The Blueprint 1. Blueprint 2, Gift and a Curse. The Black Album, where he retired. L'Album Noir. The Kingdom Come, where he came back, which is not going to be in the top. American Gangster, also not in the top. Blueprint 3 was fire. That was Jay-Z coming back. It was like, oh, shit.
We saw him on tour.
Yeah, it's like, okay, Black Album was cool. Then he came back with Kingdom Come, and you're like, eh. And then he came back with American Gangster, you're like, ah. And then Blueprint 3, you're like, yeah! Hove's back. And then Magna Carta Holy Grail, and you're like, oh, no. And then 444, and it's like, yes, thank you. And he hasn't released one since 2017. So, yeah, I would say probably Reasonable Doubt. Reasonable Doubt is for sure the number one. Mm-hmm. Like, The Evils, Politics as Usual, Dead Presidents, fucking Can I Live? Can I Live? Shit. It's like the best song ever. People haven't heard Can I Live? Can I Live? You know that song?
I think so.
It gets TDS, so I keep one eye open like CBS. You see me stressed, right?
I get that reference.
Oh, so good. God. Okay. Let's do the damn thing. We've done WWE, I think. Anything you want to talk about WWE? There's no CM Punk on. You know, Drew McIntyre talked about him. He's not around yet. Maybe he'll show up at Money in the Bank. I figure he'll be there in Toronto. The fact that he's still not medically cleared and Drew gave him a beatdown last week is, like, worrisome.
Yeah.
Because last week he was supposed to say, oh, I'm medically cleared. Here we go. And then he didn't say that. You know, he said it at the press conference.
I'm going to go to Chicago, let everybody know.
Yeah, and then he went to Chicago and he got beat down. And you're like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He didn't say anything about being A-OK and ready to wrestle again.
Whatever happened there.
Whatever happened there. And Liv Morgan and Zelina Vega seem to be feuding for some unknown reason. I guess Liv Morgan needs somebody to wrestle.
Unbeat.
But she's mostly just doing stuff with Domino Mysterio, which is kind of fun. I like the Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio stuff. Her coming on to Dominic. And it seems like maybe somebody in the Judgment Day, perhaps Finn, perhaps Carlito, perhaps even JD McDonuts, is like with Liv Morgan in a way. Like she gave a hotel key at one point and it went missing, but Finn took it. So it's like, oh, maybe Finn. And then Liv had Dominic's vest, his cow print vest. And Dominic's like, how did she get it? Like, how did she get access? So clearly Liv Morgan has somebody in Judgment Day that she is in cahoots with. And what kind of cahoots? I don't know. Is it sexy cahoots?
With sexy results.
Maybe. But there's clearly something going on there with Liv Morgan and somebody in Judgment Day. I suspect it might be JD McDonuts because he's got nothing else going on. So I could see them doing something with him. But I don't think it's with Dominic. I think Dominic is like not
That's
into
not
it.
The priest.
Although, I don't know. I don't really understand Dominic's motivations. Like I guess he just prefers being the like bottom to Rhea's top.
I guess so.
You know what I mean?
Is there any kind of...
He doesn't want to like have good times in the hotel with Liv Morgan. He'd rather just...
He's a one-woman man.
Be Rhea's like slave boy.
I mean,
some guys prefer that.
Yeah.
I guess that's just Dominic's...
He's a sub.
I think that's what we are supposed to understand by Dominic Mysterio. He's like kind of tempted by Liv Morgan, but in the end, he is a mommy's boy.
Maybe he has one of those chastity belts.
All right, let's not get graphic into what they're doing specifically, because clearly it's all wrestling and it's all fake.
Or is it?
But, I mean, it is a gimmick that they are working, and, you know, we're supposed to kind of figure it out. Figure it out.
Oh, no. I don't know what Johnny Ace is doing.
If you don't got it, get it. If you don't get it, figure it out.
Johnny Ace. Shout out Antoinette in the chat.
I thought you were going to shout out Johnny Ace.
Shout out Ray Cruz in the chat.
Shout out Johnny Ace in the chat.
People power.
People power. Sorry, Vince. I wasn't a victim.
I want to be represented by your legal team.
Yeah, please represent me, Vince. I wasn't a victim at all. That woman's lying, Vince. At first I said, I was a victim of you and all your sexcapades, but it turns out,
I was a participant.
Yeah, she's lying. Yeah. We never did any sex.
Yeah.
No, first I said Vince made me have sex with her, but now I remember that she was lying. We never had sex.
I was on drugs.
I don't know.
Fucking Johnny Ace.
Yeah.
What a slimy dirtball.
Apparently, though, like...
My wife had cancer while this was all going on.
That's about to
I'm
get
still
a lot
with
more
her,
serious.
too, somehow.
What?
That's about to get a lot more serious, the Vince case.
Oh, I hope so.
Because the Department of Justice is like took it on. Like they asked like the civil suit to be paused, so because there might be some kind of criminal thing coming.
Cool.
Oh shit, pal! I'm going to jail. I'm going to the clink. It's Prison Vince.
Do-rag Vince.
Do-rag Vince, baby.
He's back.
I'm gonna be the king of the cockwalk in the prison. Everybody's gonna be sucking my balls. In prison, baby. I'm gonna be the most jacked guy there. I'm gonna show all the guys how to dance.
I'm gonna go to the biggest guy there and be like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" And he's gonna say, "What?" I said, "You heard me, motherfucker." I said, "What the fuck are you looking at?" And I'm gonna hit him. And the screws, they're coming.
God damn it.
No one ever looks at me cross-eyed after.
Feature Lamana over here.
That's right.
I know. Shout out to Antoinette dropping a super chat. She says, "Go Johnny." Prison Vince is kind of funny, though.
I'm in prison and I'm not scared of shit. So what? I'm 84 years old. I run the damn country. Ugh.
Vince in prison would be bananas. If they sent him to prison. I can see him just like being like, yeah, so what?
I mean, he'd be in like a very like fancy prison.
Yeah, he'd buy the prison. He'd
There'd
be
be
all
like
right.
tennis courts and like you can like leave and stuff.
Yeah,
It'd be one of those. It'd be like in Connecticut, like you wouldn't be far from his house.
yeah.
It'd be one of those.
He'd have like one of those Pablo Escobar prisons where it's like just a giant mansion with like fences around where only Vince and the people that were prosecuted and put in jail with Vince, like Johnny Ace and maybe other WWE people.
Yeah.
It's just like a WWE prison. It's in Connecticut. It's adjacent to the office as well. He's got access to the gym. But, you know, there's guards. He can't leave.
Yeah.
But it's pretty nice. There's women
He's
coming
got steak
in.
coming in.
It's like the Pablo Escobar prison. When
Yeah.
they sent Escobar to prison in Colombia, they let him build his own prison that was basically just a resort for him and his... They're like, we need to put you and a bunch of your dudes in prison. He's like, cool. We're going to run it like a club. They're like, okay, but you can't leave. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I don't... That's fine. It's going to be sick.
It would be like that.
They allowed him to do it. They allowed him to build the prison. They're like, yeah, all right, cool. Are there going to be tunnels to get you out, Pablo? No.
Please.
I wouldn't do that to you guys. Come on.
I'm hurt that you even asked.
If you can't trust me, Pablo Escobar, who can you trust? Fuck.
Come on, pal. Let me build my own prison. It'll be fine.
It'll be at Titan Towers.
Oh, shit.
Okay. You want to preview AEW's
Yeah.
Forbidden Door? There are 13 matches on this son of a bitch, so we better get to it.
Damn, pal.
Okay. So we've got a lot of cool matches on this. I watched AEW Dynamite this week. It was pretty good. We saw Kyle O'Reilly wrestle Zack Sabre Jr. That was pretty sweet. We saw Jay White beat Ray Phoenix. That was pretty good. Some good matches on Dynamite this week. Some good promos too. Okada cutting a funny promo against the Acclaimed. He really didn't say much, but he doesn't have to because he comes out. The Acclaimed cut a promo, and then Okada comes out with the Bucks, and Okada just goes, "Scissor me, bitch!" And it's just like funny because he's got a Japanese accent, and he doesn't say much, and he says "bitch" all the time. He calls people "bitch."
Okay.
I like it. I like the Okada bitch gimmick. Okada's awesome. Okada will be... Let's start with Okada, shall we? Because he's the man. They did this promo to announce a 6-man tag. It will be the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, teaming up with Matthew Jackson, Nicholas Jackson, the Young Buckaroos, to take on Scissor Ace, which will be Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, the Acclaimed, and the Ace of New Japan, longtime rival to Kazuchika Okada over in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
That's pretty cool.
It's great. They're
Big
pulling
for
out
the
all the
Acclaimed.
stops. Like, we're getting the top guys of New Japan on this card. Sometimes Forbidden Door, like, you got some of them, but not all of them. This card has Naito, Okada, and Tanahashi. It kind of helps that Okada now wrestles for AEW, which I'm still getting used to. It's like, oh yeah, well, they do this Forbidden Door stuff, and there's New Japan guys. I'm like, oh yeah, Okada, and I'm like, oh wait, no, Okada's representing AEW.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird that he represents AEW now. I like it though, because we get to see Okada so often.
He's the one opening the door,
Yeah,
not coming out a shining light.
he really is. And I wonder if he's given ideas to guys like Naito to be like, maybe me. Naito cut a promo. He said, in order to really make it and to do it, I have to speak English, and I've been studying, so we'll see. So maybe Naito's going to cut a promo in English, and maybe
He'll
he's
be
going to...
all elite.
Because Naito in AEW? Damn, son. That would be pretty cool. I mean, AEW's got some talent. They could add Naito? They could add Becky Lynch? They could add Becky Lynch, is what I'm saying.
It could happen.
It could. I saw Mercedes Moné did an interview where she's like, oh, there's somebody out there who's a free agent. I'd really like to see her come in. I like her a lot, and her husband, too. And I was like, who are you talking about? Are you talking about Becky Lynch, or are you talking about Natty?
Yeah, Natty apparently...
Apparently, Natty's a free agent, too.
But I also saw when we were watching SmackDown...
Did they advertise
her
her
for a
Toronto?
house show.
Or a house show in Canada?
Yeah, or maybe she's going to be like a special, like maybe a dark match for Toronto.
Okay, so maybe Natty's not a free agent.
Or her deal expires like at the end of July.
Okay.
I mean...
I don't know. But Natty or Becky Lynch would be gigantic additions to AEW, right? I think Becky probably bigger because she's a bigger star.
Yeah, Becky would be bigger.
But Natty would be pretty cool
Natty'd
on that
be a good
roster.
hand.
She'd
Yeah.
be fun. She'd be fun to have. She would help a lot too. But let's stick with let's do the preview here.
Yeah.
The Elite versus Scissor Ace. It's a cool match. I think it's going to be fantastic. Like, all these matches look so good. This card is great. The Elite versus the Scissor Ace. We've got Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi in an Owen Hart Cup tournament match. Swerve Strickland, of course, defending the AEW World title against Will Ospreay. Mercedes Moné, the AEW TBS champion, taking on the New Japan Strong Women's champion Stephanie Vaquer, and the winner will take all the belts in this one. Jon Moxley defending his IWGP Heavyweight title against Tetsuya Naito, leader of Los Ingobernables de Japón. Zack Sabre Jr. one-on-one with Orange Cassidy. MJF one-on-one with Hichisero. The Learning Tree, Chris Jericho and Big Bill and Jeff Cobb? I thought it was Minoru Suzuki. What happened? I thought it was Suzuki. I think it's Minoru Suzuki. I don't know why I'm seeing Jeff Cobb on my schedule here. Give me... they announced on Dynamite that it was Suzuki. Jericho, Big Bill, and Suzuki versus Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata. Tony Storm defending the AEW Women's Championship against Mina Shirakawa. And Konosuke Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Jack Perry, Dante Martin, Leo Rush, and El Phantasmo. El Phantasmo from New Japan. This guy is fantastic. In a ladder match to determine a new AEW TNT champion. Wow, we almost got it.
Cool.
Pre-show match. Free matches. Los Ingobernables de Japón, represented by Yota Tsuji, Titan, and Hiromu Takahashi, who wrestled on Dynamite this week. It was sick. It was Los Ingobernables. It was Hiromu, Titan, and Shingo against Cesaro, Moxley, and Wheeler Utah. And the match just degenerated. Moxley hit a guy with a chair, and it just kind of turned into a brawl. But the match up until that point was just awesome. Seeing Hiromu on Dynamite, too. Hiromu Takahashi is one of my favorite wrestlers. Seeing him wrestle AEW guys is very cool. The Ticking Time Bomb. I've got one of his T-shirts. Like, I love this guy. Ticking Time Bomb. Hiromu! He's fucking incredible. So, Tsuji, Titan, and Hiromu taking on Penta, Phoenix, and Mystico in a trios match in the pre-show. Mariah May will take on Saraya in a women's Owen Hart Cup tournament first round match. And Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe taking on Willow Nightingale and Tom Nakano in a tag team match. So a lot of crossover there. A lot of matches on this card. We were talking about the 6-man tag or the trios match, whatever you want to call it.
I got the Elite winning this one. I think they're on a roll.
The Elite. Okay. I think they will win as well. Because I think they're going to be winning a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to just keep on just getting higher and higher and be like one of the top acts in the whole company.
Yeah. They set out a plan to beat, to win all the championships. They did a whole thing. They did a whole promo where they're like, yeah, we're the tag team champions. We're going to stay tag team champions. And then Jack Perry, he's going to win the TNT title. And Okada's the international champion or whatever he is. And then, or the content, I don't forget.
I think it's international.
He's something. And then they said they have a wild card in the Owen Hart Cup tournament, and this wild card representing them is going to be in a match next week on Dynamite, and he's going to win the whole tournament, and then he's going to win the world title for the Elite. And I don't know who the hell they're talking about.
That could be someone new or returning, like Kenny. Although that doesn't make sense.
They beat down Kenny.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all.
The only guy that could be returning that could join up with the Elite would be Hangman, but would he join up with them?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like his character, but I mean,
Cody?
That's the Forbidden Door.
That would be crazy. Be like, yeah, we're opening the Forbidden Door. Who do we have as the guy? It's Cody. He's back in the Elite, and he's gonna win the AEW.
Got the belts.
He's gonna win the AEW World Championship too.
Yeah,
we're going for it. I'd be honestly down for that.
Yeah,
that would be sick.
It's the one thing. It's like,
Okay, Angelo says the international champ is Ospreay. Yeah, I thought so.
Okay.
So Okada has like the.
Is it the Mid-Atlantic or the North or something?
No, it's like the Continental. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Continental.
Okay.
It was like the Triple Crown, Ring of Honor, something. Like it was a thing Eddie Kingston had.
Right.
It was so messy, man.
Too many belts.
The fact that there's belts that I can't even keep track of shows you like what's going on in AEW. It's like, come on, like you got to pare down a little bit. It's too much.
Yeah,
it's a little too. It's always been that way, but I feel like it's
really,
more now.
Yeah,
somehow.
Because it's like built on like previous storylines and things that have nothing to do with that stuff now. So
and that was like a new belt that they introduced. And then Eddie King, like with a tournament, and Eddie Kingston won a tournament, but he also had the Ring of Honor title. And then they made it all one championship. And then Okada beat Eddie Kingston, and he seemed to just win one belt. And I don't know if he's a Ring of Honor champion either. Like he's not the Ring of Honor. No, he's not the Ring of Honor champion because that was, I think, Briscoe. But they kind of added a bunch of championships for Eddie Kingston. It was weird. He dropped one, but then he kept this one.
It's too much homework.
Yeah. You have to do too much work sometimes to follow everything that's going on in AEW. And I don't want to work that hard to follow the product. They do a lot of TV, too, that people are just not watching. I think this pay-per-view is going to be very good, though.
Mm-hmm. They usually make up for that with the pay-per-views.
Yeah. I think the Elite's going to win this match, too. I think they beat the Scissor Ace. Although they could. They could drop this match. Let me see what Johnny North says. Johnny North sent me his predictions.
Oh.
Johnny North goes with the Elite.
Okay.
Let's make it unanimous. Let's go with the Elite. That is where I'm leaning to. How about Swerve Strickland defending the AEW World Championship against Will Ospreay?
That's a tough one.
It is. And it isn't. I feel like it's too early in Ospreay's run to take the belt. I feel like it's too early in Swerve's run to lose a belt. I feel like they've set it up in a way where Swerve has told Ospreay, you can't pull the trigger. You don't have the killer instinct. You're not serious enough. You're not the guy. And I think it's going to come down to Will Ospreay having Swerve nearly beat, maybe Don Callis outside the ring telling him, hit that Tiger Driver 97, whatever that move is. The move he gave Bryan Danielson that killed Bryan Danielson that Ospreay said, I will retire this move. It's too dangerous.
Right.
So he's retired this move that he deems too dangerous. And Swerve, the whole way through this feud, is saying, you don't have a killer instinct. So I think they're setting us up for, okay, Ospreay's going to have him beat. But his morals and his ethics will say, I don't want to hurt Swerve, so I'm not going to hit the move. It'll backfire on him. Swerve will hit his move, whatever, beat Ospreay, and that'll be that. And Swerve will win, and then Ospreay will maybe learn from this experience. Like, it'll be a learning thing where Ospreay's like, okay, but if I hit you with that move, I would have beat you, but I hesitated, and that's what happened, and maybe you were right, but I'll get you next time type of thing. So Ospreay loses, but he doesn't completely lose face. You know, he lost, but he lost because he's got integrity. Right? And Swerve beats him because Swerve told him, you know, you got to have the killer instinct. You can't kind of hesitate, and that's what happens.
And, like, it opens, like, the next meeting could be different.
Yes. And also, could be a way to ditch Don Callis, where Callis is so disgusted with Will for not pulling the trigger when he had the chance. Callis could come in, slap him, and Will could push him away and say, we're done.
I'm a babyface.
Right? And then, next time Swerve wrestles Ospreay doesn't have the distraction of Don Callis outside the ring telling him what to do.
That sounds right. That checks.
So I got Swerve. Johnny North also picking Swerve. I just checked.
Yeah, I hope Swerve wins. I like Ospreay a lot, but I feel like Swerve's got good momentum going. Still his house.
Whose house? I like Swerve a lot, too. And I think the match is going to be incredible. They may steal the show on a show that's going to be very hard to steal. There's some matches on this card. Bryan Danielson, Shingo Takagi. I don't know how familiar everybody is with Shingo Takagi, but he is a supreme talent. He's ridiculous. Him and Bryan on pay-per-view? Damn. I'm going with Bryan in that one. I think Bryan advances and will face Pac in the next round of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. I think Bryan's winning the whole tournament. I hope he does anyways.
It'd be nice.
Are you picking Bryan too?
Yeah, I'm picking Bryan.
Johnny didn't send me a pick for that match. I assume he's picking Bryan.
Yeah.
But he didn't write Shingo or Bryan here. Interesting. We're going with Bryan Danielson. The match should be phenomenal. Like, what's going to be the best match on this card? Bryan versus Shingo, or Swerve versus Ospreay, or Moxley versus Naito? Like, what is going to be, or the trios match with the Elite against the Acclaimed and Tanahashi? Like, what's going to be the thing on this one? Could it be Zack Sabre Jr. and Orange Cassidy? Could it be MJF and Hechicero? You know, what is going to be the match of the night on this? I think it's going to be very interesting to see who manages to steal the show. Like, it's going to be great wrestling on Sunday night. Because I think everybody's going to come out and just kill it. It's going to be nuts, man. There's no way for it to suck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you look on paper, it can't suck. It's going to be
some
great.
Matches might disappoint, but it shouldn't, by and large, be a slog to get through.
It's a 7.5 on paper. They just have to show up.
Mm-hmm.
It's goddamn ridiculous. Like, as long as they all do what they regularly do, it's a 7.5 to 8 on 10 pay-per-view. If they exceed expectations, it's an 8.5 to 9. Like, it's crazy. The talent on this card is bananas. And there's stuff on the line, too. Swerve and Ospreay is a main event match for the world title where you're like, it could go either way. Probably Swerve, but could go either way.
Never know.
And the match is going to be bananas. Bryan Danielson, Shingo Takagi. It's an Owen Hart Cup tournament match. It means something. And the match is going to be bananas. Fantastic stuff. Mercedes Moné taking on Stephanie Vaquer. I believe Mercedes Moné will win this one. Johnny does too. I think everybody's going to be picking Mercedes to win all the belts. She's the AEW TBS champion. She's not about to drop it here to Stephanie Vaquer, who's never wrestled in AEW. or maybe once on Rampage. I don't know. But she's not an AEW talent. She's not going to win this AEW championship from Sasha Banks this early in Sasha's run. Mercedes Moné for the win.
Could be a good match. I don't know
I
much
think it will
about
be.
Stephanie Vaquera, but
Me neither. But she's clearly good enough to be the New Japan Strong Women's Champion.
Yeah.
And Mercedes Moné is a fantastic wrestler. This match could steal the show, too.
Yeah.
It really
If
could.
they give it enough time.
Yeah. So many good matches on this card. So many. Okay, what else do we have? We've got Jon Moxley, Tetsuya Naito. IWGP Heavyweight Championship on the line. I think this match is going to be nuts. Moxley beat Naito for the belt. I think he drops it to Naito here.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
Not just for like storyline's sake, but I think also, some of the Japanese wrestlers have to win. It can't be like, can't feel too obvious like, oh, they're a guest star. They're not,
Yeah. And
usually
I think
there's like a little give and take.
And I think it makes sense for Naito to come to the United States and get the New Japan belt and bring it back to Japan.
That feels right.
It does feel right. So I think it's going to happen. We're going to see Destino.
That could be a very bloody match.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be violent. Naito has my favorite finishing move in all of pro wrestling. The Destino. It's the nicest finisher anybody has. The way he turns over on the guy and hits the reverse DDT thing. It's crazy. Have you seen the Destino?
I believe so.
You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? Destino Naito. I'm going to show you clips that I can't show to everybody because I would get copyright stricken. But look at this. Okay, that's not Destino. Where's Destino? Oh, that's a Poison Rana. Destino.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
It's crazy. He hooks a guy from behind.
Backflip.
Does a backflip into a Scorpion Death Drop.
Yeah.
Destino.
Back to Sting.
Look at that. Look at that thing. Bow.
Yeah.
It's an incredible move. And it
very
looks
fluid.
like it's got impact, and it's just so perfect. Yeah, he hits it beautifully every time. The Destino. If you haven't seen Naito hit a Destino, you're missing out. It's my favorite finishing move in all of professional wrestling. It's one of the nicest finishers I've ever seen ever. It's just the finisher is kind of like a lost art. People don't have great finishing moves anymore.
A lot of them are very samey.
I don't really like the crossroads. There's a lot of moves you kind of look like they're taking a bump on it too. Like when Cody hit AJ Styles with the crossroads and
He landed on the chair.
He landed on the chair. You're like, oh, well, how good of a finisher is that really,
Yeah.
Give me a rock bottom. Give me a Stone Cold Stunner. Give me
Pedigree.
a Styles Clash. AJ Styles finishing move, phenomenal. Pun intended.
Yeah.
But, I like the Seth Rollins stomp, but Naito's Destino, I think, is my favorite. It's very nice. So I think he's going to hit it on Moxley and get the win, become the new IWGP champion. Champion once again. I wonder how many times it'll be for Naito. 4 or 5, I'd say. Zack Sabre Jr., ZSJ, taking on Orange Cassidy, which could be a very, very fun, technical wrestling match. Orange Cassidy is a pretty solid technical wrestler, and Zack Sabre Jr. is the best technician in the game today. Tough to call, but I think I'm going to go with Orange. It's in AEW. I think this is an Orange Cassidy victory.
I'll take Zack Sabre Jr.
Ooh. Johnny North going with Orange Cassidy. He also picked Naito to win. Johnny North going with Mercedes, Naito, the Elite, Orange Cassidy. You're going with ZSJ, though. I
am.
How about the timeless one? Timeless Tony Storm defending the AEW. Take it easy. AEW World Women's Championship against Mina Shirakawa. I don't think Tony drops it here, though. I think the story has been great with Mina being a friend of Mariah's, and, she loves Mariah, and Mariah loves her, and Mariah loves Tony, but Mina and Tony don't like each other so much. I like it. It's been fun. I'm sad that it may come to an end here at Forbidden Door, but it had to end sometime. I don't know if Mina is going to stick around in AEW, but she's good. Wouldn't be bad to have her on the roster. But I think Toni Storm will beat her. And that'll be that for this portion of Tony's title run.
Yeah, I agree. I think Toni Storm is also going to retain. I think the eventual build-up is a match with Mariah May.
Yeah.
It feels like maybe she'll win the Owen Hart Cup. You know, and like that's why, and that's where they're like, oh, now we have to wrestle.
Mariah May, didn't we check? She is British, right?
She is, eh?
Yeah, and she's gonna be in like her. Yeah. The winner of this thing gets a title shot at Wembley.
Yeah.
Like Mariah May getting her title shot against Toni Storm at Wembley is the story to tell.
Yeah.
It's where you should be going. That's what they've been
building the sub for.
Yeah, they really should be going in that direction, and she should win at Wembley. Like if anybody's gonna end the run, it should be Mariah May after all of this at Wembley.
This should be a good match, though.
Mina and Tony? Yeah. This could steal the show, too.
I'm hoping they give it, like, at least 15 minutes.
This is what I'm saying. Every match on this card, you're like, this could be the best match we see all night. And it's going to be really tough, I think. And I think when we recap it on Monday, we may have some arguments about, like, what match really was the best. Because there's going to be a lot of these matches that are going to be fantastic. Really good. Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Minoru Suzuki take on Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata. I'm going to go with the learning tree, Chris Jericho continuing to win. I think the winning streak continues for Jericho. I think Hook takes the fall, too.
Yeah, I think Jericho will continue.
Yeah.
It feels like it's good for his character to win, too.
It's funny. It's funnier when he wins. His promos have been great. Hi, everybody. All that stuff has been fantastic. MJF against Hechicero. I think MJF.
Yeah,
wins.
sure.
I mean,
I just heard of Hechicero.
But MJF, like, this is kind of his comeback match. He wrestled Roosh on Dynamite a couple weeks ago, but like, this is his first pay-per-view match since December. Come on now.
Yeah,
he's got to win. Johnny agrees. Everybody agrees. Johnny North picking Statlander and Friend. Statlander and Momo Watanabe to beat Willow Nightingale and Tam Nakano. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I don't really know who the other people are. I know Statlander and Willow. I don't know their tag team partners. Johnny also going with Mariah May over Saraya. Yeah, I think so too. We kind of said, Mariah should win the women's Owen Hart Cup tournament, get a title shot against Toni Storm at Wembley. So.
Yeah. I mean, Saraya is also English, but I don't think.
But the story calls for Mariah versus Tony, not Saraya.
Yeah.
Mariah, not Saraya.
Different. Tony Khan's like, oh no, I mixed it up. Oh.
Yeah, I got the wrong ones. Hey guys. Los Ingobernables, Yotatsuji, Titan, and Hiromu take on the Lucha Bros, Penta, Phoenix, and Místico. I'm gonna go with
Místico, original Sin Cara.
Original Sin Cara.
The one who's always botching.
I'm going to go with Los Ingos, though.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Los Ingos because I also heard that Pentagon might be his deal might be expiring.
Really?
I understand.
What's he doing?
Well, I don't know, but maybe he's jumping ship or not staying in AEW, or I don't know.
Damn, son.
Maybe he's not happy with the spot.
Damn, son. He'd be fun in WWE.
Yeah. It'd be cool if they made him somehow part of the Wyatts, kind of scary.
That'd be weird.
Just like, eh.
There's a creepy guy who doesn't talk?
Yeah.
It could work. It could work.
They give him like a different name. They don't acknowledge he's like a world-renowned wrestler or anything. He's just a creepy guy,
They give him a different name altogether.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Also, okay, we have. There's one match here we didn't do. I'm looking through the card. We've done all the matches except for this one. It is the ladder match for the vacant AEW TNT Championship. Konosuke Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Jack Perry, Dante Martin, Leo Rush, and El Phantasmo. Winner gets Edge's TNT title. I think it's going to be Jack Perry. I think the Elite is going to be running strong. When Matthew and Nicholas said that they were going to get all the gold sucka, I think they meant it. They didn't say sucka, and they also certainly didn't say the other thing.
Yeah.
But they're the tag team champions. I think that they are going towards Jack Perry winning the TNT title. I think all the members of the group will have a championship, and then who knows who their Joker's Wild member of the Owen Hart Cup tournament will be. Like, who's their representative, and will that person go all the way and win the world title? I think if Jack Perry wins the TNT title, you're going to have to look at that match on Wednesday night on Dynamite, whoever they reveal, look at that guy as a favorite, you know? Maybe he'll go up against Bryan Danielson in the finals, and then we'll see from there. Could it be I really don't know who it's going to be. Like, is it going to be Hangman? Is it going to be somebody else? Is it like Sammy Guevara? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Is someone from? Is there any free agents that are enticing?
Yeah.
You know,
Goldberg.
I mean, as far as like it works for the characters. Like if they
It
were
would be
like,
funny as
here's
hell.
our guy, Bill Goldberg.
Here's our guy who's gonna win the tournament. He's representing
the Owen Hart tournament too.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Stick it to Brett.
Yeah. That's a big heel move.
Here's the Elites guy, and I think the finals are like in Calgary too.
Oh my God.
Here's our guy in the fucking tournament for representing the Elite, Bill Goldberg. It would be so funny, and then he like somehow
he just runs through everybody,
and then it's him and Danielson in the finals in Calgary,
he
just squashes Danielson, and Brett's there just like pissed.
The crowd's just like cheering, like booing Goldberg, you know.
Dude, it'd be hilarious. And the Bucks just laughing it up. Honestly, it would be the best thing they could possibly do.
Yeah.
It'd be way better than like Hangman turning heel for some reason. Although Hangman winning the Owen Hart Cup tournament to go up against Swerve in the end does make sense.
Does make a lot of sense.
But Goldberg is hilarious. It's probably a very expensive joke. But imagine, like, if they just book because here's the problem though.
You gotta
if they
book
actually
Goldberg.
do it, if they actually do it, and then you have Goldberg like win the tournament, and then you have Goldberg at Wembley like win your title against Swerve, then we're pissed about it. You know, then the night after Wembley, we're like, guys, this is like one of those dumb jokes that went too far.
Yeah.
And now like Goldberg's a champion in AEW. Like,
he's on
this
every
sucks.
Dynamite.
Yeah, like no, that would piss me off.
Yeah.
Unless they have, like, the very next week on Dynamite, MJF just beat the shit out of Goldberg.
Yeah.
And just beat him. Take the belt, and it's like, bye, Goldberg.
That would be maybe like the first ever championship belt between two Jewish wrestlers.
I don't think that's ever happened. World title?
Yeah.
In big-time pro wrestling? Two Jews wrestling for the belt?
Like known, at least, you know. Like
Let's see some history, AEW. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
But,
oh, shit.
I mean, yeah, Jack Perry could win the match, you know, for the thing.
Oh, yeah.
His nickname is the Scapegoat. It would be kind of funny if, like, he's the one who just never, you know, like,
I think he's going to win.
But, yeah, he's probably going to win.
Like, who else wins? Maybe Takeshita.
Maybe Briscoe? Feels like something that could be for him.
I'd be surprised.
You know, the fans would probably give it
I think booking-wise, you take Perry to win a belt over Briscoe right now.
Yeah, his ceiling is higher. I mean,
it just higher. It works more for the big angle that you're doing. Like, the main thing in AEW is the whole Elite deal.
Yeah.
There's got so many players involved. Whatever the Elite's doing and whatever MJF is doing, those are the main things happening in AEW right now. And Swerve.
Yeah. So they're probably not going to stop
Swerve
that
and
from Mark
Ospreay.
Briscoe.
Ospreay, too. Like, Osprey's a big deal right now.
Yeah, Jack Perry makes a lot of sense.
They have a lot of serious players on their roster. Like, ever since MJF came back, business picked up, pal.
Yeah.
You know, like, MJF came back, and it's like, ooh, okay, we've got a lot going on here now. You know, we've got Ospreay, we've got Swerve, we've got the Elite, we've got Okada. They're all doing their thing, and like, oh, MJF is back. Like, we have all these guys that could be, like, the best in the game, and then here comes the best in the game. And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, Hangman comes back. It's like, ooh.
Kenny?
Yeah.
Darby?
Yeah, whatever happened there.
You know? Like, there's a lot, man. Okay. AEW's Forbidden Door going down Sunday night. We're going to recap it Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. I'm going to do jiu-jitsu in the morning on Monday, and then I'm going to come back and recap the action. How about that?
Heck of a way to spend Canada Day.
Canada Day, man. It's a holiday, so I could go do some morning jiu-jitsu. Day off work. get some jiu-jitsu work in, extra jiu-jitsu work in on a Monday. So that's nice. I'm hyped. There's nothing I love more than doing jiu-jitsu. Nothing. I mean, maybe a thing or two, but it's pretty much the best. Nothing better than just being on the mats, doing jiu-jitsu, drilling techniques, learning new shit, rolling with your friends. It is the best. Goddamn, I love jiu-jitsu. You ever wonder why jiu-jitsu guys talk about jiu-jitsu so much and try to tell you to do jiu-jitsu? It's because it's really fun. Like, jiu-jitsu guys, like, we never shut up about jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you get us started, we'll be like, oh, yeah, it's so good, and you could do this, and it's so good for this, and you feel good, and you get self-defense and confidence, and you feel strong, and you do this, and you know what to do. And there's all these things you talk about in jiu-jitsu. It's because they're all true. Like, it really is like a superpower. It really is super fun. And, yeah, I love it so much, man. 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu for life. You got to do more jiu-jitsu. What happened? Get it together, pal. Get it together.
I've fallen too far behind.
Yeah, you've fallen behind. You have some skills. Like, you know what to do, but you haven't been training. I train on the regular because I love it.
Hurts my sciatica too much.
Yeah, you got a bad back. Poor bastard. Thankfully, I have no serious injuries. I'm getting older. I'm almost like 40 at this point, and I'm still feeling fantastic. I actually did monkey bars for the first time in my life the other day.
Yeah? I never was able to do monkey bars.
I did monkey bars. I was at the park with the children, and I was like swinging from one bar to the other with my feet off the ground.
Whoa.
And like swinging from one bar to the other. I went all the way to the end, and I was like, I've never been able to do that in my life.
No, I was always envious of kids who could.
I'm like nearly 40 at this point, and somehow I'm like stronger than ever. It's insane. I was like, yo, I did monkey bars, and I was like, I never did this ever. I was doing it. I was like, I can't believe I could do this. This is crazy. I did all the monkey bars. I was like, this is nuts. I'm crazy strong. I was like pulling myself up. I'm like, damn, what happened?
You win the.
Isn't that crazy?
You won the chin-up cup 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, I'm strong these days. I can't believe I did the monkey bars. I was like, seriously, first time ever. As a kid, like, forget about it. As a kid, I could never do it, not even close. No. And never as an adult, like, never. You get one wrong, you get to the second one, and then you're, like, falling off. I went all the way across. I got to show you next time we're at a park.
Yeah, I want to see.
It was mad impressive for myself because I was like, yo, I've never done this before. I just tried it to see what would happen, and it just happened.
The kids must have found it amazing. They must have been like, whoa.
They weren't really paying attention.
Ah.
It felt good, though, for me, so, you know. But she saw it.
Oh, yeah.
And she was impressed. She didn't think that I could do it. I could do it.
Show them all.
I monkeyed on those bars big time. I'm just a big monkey. Okay, enough monkeying around. I'll be back here tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the UFC 303 watch-along. We'll be talking about jiu-jitsu, wrestling, Muay Thai, boxing, all the things that comprise mixed martial arts. The best sport on the planet today, MMA. There's nothing better than
MMA.
Professional mixed martial arts. As far as pro sports go, it is the number one pro sport as far as I'm concerned. It's the most fun. It's got the most stakes. And, it's the truest form of sports. All these other sports, they got the bravado. They got the, hey, I'm tougher than you. Fuck you. Let's fight. But they don't actually do it. MMA takes all that bullshit out of the equation. Hey, slam a ball in my face. I don't give a shit. Let's go.
Let's fight.
Let's go. You think you're fucking tough? Fucking prove it. Like, it takes all the bullshit, all the bravado, all the ego of pro sports, and it breaks it down to the real thing. You want to act tough? You want to think you're cool because you can slam a basketball? You can kick a ball far? Cool. You want to get in my face after you do it? Nice. How about we scrap? You know what I mean? That's why MMA is the best, because it's like it takes all the bullshit out of it. It's like, two guys, I'm the man. No, I'm the man. Yeah, let's fucking find out. I love it. It's so cool. And when you're like the top of the top, you're really the man. You're like a John Jones character. Holy shit. He's like the man of all humans. You know what I'm saying? MMA, baby. UFC 303 tomorrow night. right here on the Ringside Report Network, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. When the pay-per-view starts, that's when we will start. And for more pro wrestling action, once again, Monday night, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I want to shout out all the members tonight. Jimmy James, Ray Cruz, Jason Pete, Antoinette, Angelo Contagonis, Doug Hepburn, Ryan Katz. Good God Almighty. Angelo Contagonis, you're the Super Chat leader of the night. Antoinette dropping a Super Chat. Go, Johnny! Thank you, Antoinette. Thank you, Doug Hepburn. Thank you, Angelo. Angelo, you are the leader of the show tonight. Thank you, Angelo. Angelo dropping a Super Chat late last night, too. Thank you, Angelo. Supporting the Ringside Report Network as you do. And, yeah, I'll be back. Busy weekend tomorrow night and then again on Monday for a lot of action. UFC 303 and AEW's Forbidden Door right here on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again.